Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hustlers, makers, and content creators, welcome to another Sunday night creator live stream for mobile content creators, for YouTubers, for live streamers. Tonight, we're doing something a little bit different. We did have a guest on the show about a month ago, and I thought it'd be a great idea to turn this into maybe a regular thing, depending on how this goes. Of course, I'm not going to stop answering your YouTube questions, but a live stream that can help you get over your fears to get you up and live streaming so you can make a better connection with your community. Now, show of hands. Tommy Bernard, how you doing? Show of hands, and I know people are just kind of showing up in here, kind of just getting started here. If you are not live streaming, if you're not live streaming on your whatever channel, maybe you are not, maybe your platform is LinkedIn, or maybe your platform is TikTok, whatever the case, if you're not streaming yet to your favorite platform, say yes into the chat right now. I want to see who is and who is not live streaming. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to drop a link into the chat just a little bit later. And when I drop the link into the chat, it is going to be, well, you know what? Maybe we can gamify this a little bit. We will gamify this. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. But in terms of who I actually pull up, maybe we'll gamify this just a little bit, because I don't know how this is going to turn out today, and I can't have too many people waiting to come on. Because I think STREAMYARD, you can only have, I think, 10 people maybe waiting behind stage here. So I've never actually done this in a group format like this before, so kind of trial and error to see how this is actually going to work out. How's everybody doing, by the way? And Luria Petrucci, Luria, I don't know if you want to come in today, but this right here, Luria Petrucci, she's pretty much the grand poobah in terms of helping you become uniquely you on YouTube. So Luria, if you want to come in today, Luria, it would be an honor to have you on the stream as well, to help maybe coach some first timers come along here. Just let me know if you want to do that, Luria, and I'll send you a link. It would be an honor to have you on here. I don't know what you're doing or what time it is wherever you're at, but we'll see how it goes. Sweeney Doesn't says this might end up being a nice long stream. Well, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a nice long stream, but I'll definitely go for quite a while. I want to get people comfortable in front of the camera. I get so many comments or people saying, hey, I'm afraid to go live, or I don't want to go live, or I don't want to show my face, or I don't know what to say, or what do I do if nobody shows up? All right, there's so many questions that people have that's stopping them from live streaming, and I want to help some of you get over those hurdles today. I'm going to keep an eye out for what Luria says here to see if she wants to come in, because she's amazing. She is the queen of live streaming and the queen of getting engagement from your community as well. Crazy Tech and Puppets, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Mr. Cameron Drunky, how you doing, little crafty nook? How's it going? Latrell and Larcia, how you doing? How's your boyfriend doing with his channel? I hope he's gotten some better focus with that. Gonna keep an eye out here. In the meantime, I'm waiting to see what Luria is gonna say before I start pulling some people in. I'm gonna answer a couple questions here. Alan, how you doing? It says, question, if you stream, is it better to post an edited version once completed? I feel that YouTube pushes videos over streaming sessions. Thank you. Okay, this is a fantastic question. Here's the thing with live streaming versus pre-recorded videos. When you go live, just like I did at the beginning of this video, I'm not making this a live stream. I'm not optimizing this live stream in a way that's going to be valuable so much for playback, right? First and foremost, it's quite a commitment, especially if you're doing a long stream. If you're doing a 30-minute stream or an hour-long stream, that's a real commitment for somebody to come in and say, yeah, I'm going to watch 30 minutes, or I'm going to watch an hour, or maybe more of a live stream, right? But here's what you can do. You can do a shift, and you can treat your live streams like a video. Let's say as soon as I went live here, right, I opened with a hook. As soon as I went live, I said, today I'm going to help you get over your fear of live streaming. And then I kind of went on to a little spiel, and I told you exactly what's going to happen. And then I just got right into it. I didn't really welcome anybody. I just treated it like a video. And then I treated it more like a video that's going to get replays instead of a live stream where we're kind of hanging out, right? That can be all the difference in the world. So to answer your question, YouTube pushes out videos that has positive signals going back to YouTube. So if your videos on your channel are getting more views and people are, say you have a 5-minute video and a lot of people are watching that 5-minute video, they're leaving comments, they're giving it a thumbs up, so on and so forth, maybe they're sharing it. Those are all positive signals going to YouTube versus a live stream that might be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours long, you might get people in that initial rush, but the playback value, not a lot of people are coming in, and that tells YouTube, people aren't really liking this on playback, therefore we're not going to promote it as much. I'll tell you someone who does a great job at repurposing their live streams is video influencers. What they do, and that's Benji Travis, is he'll do a live stream, and he'll come in and he'll do like an entry where he's talking, welcomes people in, and he does the whole thing, and he lets everybody know that then he's going to start this show. Right? So he comes in, welcomes everybody, gets everybody fired up, and says, okay, guys, we're going to actually start the show. They do the live stream. When the live stream's over and it processes, he goes back inside YouTube Studio and he trims off the beginning and he trims off the end. So what's left is a very polished live stream that is good for playback. So something to keep in mind. There isn't a right or wrong answer here. It completely depends on your live stream and how you optimize for playback. But YouTube pushes what people like, what people are interested in. So if you don't get a lot of people watching replay, YouTube's not going to push that out. I'm going to keep an eye out here to see if Luria replied. Hold on one second. Dan Tan is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. I do appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And I'm going backwards here to see if Luria is actually coming on or not. Insane McLean, how you doing? Okay. It's 7 p.m., but I'll come on for a few. I don't have a fancy setup. Well, as you know, you don't need a fancy setup. So, Luria, I'm going to send you a invite right now on Facebook. I'll send it to you over on Facebook right now. So you guys are in for a real treat. Let me send a message to her and get her in here. Give me 1 second here. I got to find her and pull her in. Where are you at? Why can't I find you? Wow, this is so crazy. I know I just had a conversation with you and I can't actually find you. Give me a second. There you are. I'm dropping it in right now, Olivia. Boom. The invite is sent. All right, let me back up here. Scully's House of Thrillers. How you doing, sir? Nice to see you in here. Okay, so now we've got some people showing up here. So a show of hands. Let me know if you're live streaming or not. If you are live streaming, type in yes. If you're not live streaming, type in no. And we're going to work over those hurdles today. Question, what internet speed should we aim for? Great question. I've tried 2 lives and the quality is fuzzy, even though I'm plugged in and I'm not using Wi-Fi. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me drop a link into the chat right now. This is what I use. I use speedtest.net. Speedtest.net. And here's the thing when it comes to internet speeds. You don't want to look at your download speed. You want to look at your upload speed. Your upload speed is everything because you're sending your video signal up to the internet. Now, I have seen, and I've actually been part of live streams where we've had a pretty low upload speed and we've adjusted accordingly. But if you want a good quality, high quality live stream, I would say at the very minimum, 4 megabits per second. 4. The higher you can go, the better. What's going to happen is the higher that number gets, you can start streaming at 1080p or maybe even up to 4K. You can increase your bit rate, meaning you're going to get a better quality. Now, if you have under that, you're going to be restricted to streaming at maybe 720 or something lower. So you're going to have to adjust your settings based on that. Ladies and gentlemen, live streaming pros, Olivia Petrucci, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's Sunday night. I was just chilling and I saw your notification. And I'm like, I have to join him.
Yes.
No makeup, no hair, no nothing. I've been out on the water on the lake paddleboarding today. So chilling.
I love the new hair color. I love the new hair color.
Thank you. It's actually my real hair color, just with some highlights. Well, the auburn highlights, but this is my real hair color.
Yeah, it looks great. You want to tell people what your channel is about? In these strange event, people don't know who you are, which I find hard to believe. But
Sure. Live streaming pros. I help you create professional live video. Obviously, not like what I'm bringing on today, but that's the kicker, right? Is like I help you create live video that's uniquely you, and there's an instant credibility when it comes to professionalism and great quality. But at the end of the day, the tech doesn't really truly matter. If you're not able to connect with your audience, if you're not able to show up confidently on camera and deliver your message, the tech does nothing for you. So that combination is really the magic, right?
It is. And I love that right now. Okay, Luria has an amazing studio. She has an amazing studio. She has all the gear. She has all the cameras, all the lights, everything that you could possibly dream of when it comes to a studio. But she came on right here. Are you on a phone or a tablet right now? What are you using?
I'm on my laptop propped up on the ottoman very precariously. It may fall over at any time. And I'm using my AirPods. So
using your AirPods. But it works and you're able to go live, right? You could have said, oh, no, I can't turn on all my studio stuff, but you're going live. I think, and I agree with you, there's something to be said about a real slick production, right? And on your channel, you talk about the different levels of live streaming, from a basic, starting with your phone, building up to a high level studio. There's something to be said about that in the professionalism, but there's also something to be said, and I think this is why vertical video is taken off the way it is. There's something to be said about the intimacy of just grabbing your phone or flipping open your laptop and just going live that way, right? And just
it's interesting because 2020 taught us a lot, right? And one of the most important things is how much we need connection. Oh, hi, Pixelpia.
Thank you, Pixelpia.
How much we need connection with other human beings, and if you take that at its core, it's really the most important thing about live video. Live video is impactful because you're able to build a relationship with people. And we actually decided this August. So you guys, that we run like the Lita challenge twice a year.
Do you want to tell my audience what that is in case they're not familiar?
Sorry, yeah. It's live every day in April or August. So we're kicking it off, here shortly. And it's a private challenge. It's a safe environment where I give people missions every day, and they complete the missions inside of the private Facebook group. No judgment, like judgment-free zone, right? And in April, we tried phone week because people get caught up on the text so heavily.
Yes.
And so like the second week we tried, I was just like, the whole team decided, we were like, oh, we gotta break away the tech. We gotta just break it down and focus on what really matters. And so in August, we're doing the first 2 weeks as phone week. Like, it's because that's really all that matters, is that connection and that rawness. And the tech is so important for a number of reasons, but it's just really all about the core of what matters in your personality and your connection and the conversation, and tapping into what really makes you you. When you discover that, the tech enhances that.
It does.
Sorry, it's like my little rant. It's like
no,
it's something I'm super passionate about.
I stand down when you come on, and you are the queen at this. You are the queen at this.
I'm like,
No, this is something that's really interesting. The most successful in terms of overall viewership live stream I ever had was when the world first started shutting down. I was in an Airbnb in Mexico. And so normally I can get, depending on what time I go live, I'll have anywhere between on an average stream, anywhere between 50 and 120 people come in concurrent, depending on the time I go live. One live stream, I went out on the balcony. It was daytime. I just turned my phone on and I sat outside, and I had like 250 people come in, and they stayed. They stayed until my phone overheated. It was just me sitting on the balcony. There was no lights, just the sun. Me in the balcony and my phone.
Love that.
No microphone, no anything. I've never had any live stream come anywhere near close to that. And it was just me on a balcony with my phone, just answering questions on the fly. So and people were asking me questions about Mexico, and it was just, yeah.
That's amazing. It's what I call life streams. So as opposed to a live stream that you typically do in a studio, looking as good as you do right now, Dee, right? Like, you look professional, you look awesome, clarity. But a live stream is from the phone it's raw, it's bringing people into your world. If you get a new puppy, if you get, if you're going to the farmer's market or whatever it is you're doing that day, bringing them into your life and connecting to them on that level is so freaking powerful. I was speaking at Youpreneur Summit with in London, and I was speaking about kind of that concept of live streaming and connection. And when I went into the hallway conversations are my favorite, by the way,
Yes,
at conferences.
yes.
A woman came up to me and she was like, I don't quite understand, because I'm a mother, I'm a runner, I'm a business owner, but people don't want to know all of those different things about me. My content is on the business side, the marketing side, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? You're wrong. I said it nicer than that. But people want to know those things about you. They need to connect with you on a human level outside of the content that you deliver, because that's what makes you human. That's what makes you worthy of listening to, is that you are a mother and a runner, and you have these different passions and different hobbies and different life experiences. That's what makes people pay attention.
Yes, it's all the little things that people think are not important. Like nobody would be interested in it. Nobody would be interested that I'm into these obscure hobbies. Oh no, that's the thing that makes you unique. Those are the things that make you you. Those are the things that make you stand out. And people will, I don't like to use the word latch onto those things, but it resonates with people because they get to see your personality. Things that I've done in the past where people really like is, I don't just play music. So normally when I do a live stream, I've got super chats, I've got the super chat. I had the audio turned on, but what it turned into is I started taking funky music that I would get from Epidemic Sound and turning that into a thing. So when somebody would leave a super chat, they would then get funky music. Super chat. Right?
Yeah.
Like that. And I had all these different songs, and I still do those. So then it turned into people would just come by just wanting to hear music. Yeah. And they would just leave super tips for the music. Like people, certain things resonate with certain people. And when I was back in Thailand, I was live streaming, people would see like my Star Wars costumes, and they would stop me what I'm doing and just talk about those for a while. So you're 100% correct on that. People,
like the whole Star Wars thing, like the costumes, and I mean, holy cow, that adds so much depth to you. When I found that out, I was like, hold on, wait, what? Like, I need to hear more. And it doesn't just affect the offline content, right? We love the funk. Everybody loves the funk. Just here for the funk. Yes. It adds so much depth to your personality, to the content. When I pay it, like, okay, I'm sitting here chilling on a Sunday night. I wasn't planning on coming on camera or anything, right? Like, I don't have that plan. I love you as a person, so I pay attention when the notification comes. I didn't come to hear tips. I came for you, right? And so like, that's what matters. That's what gets loyalty. That's what gets people to show up over and over and over and over and go through transitions with you. I've been through so many transitions in my business, in my career over 15 years. It's powerful when people are there for you as a human being versus just your content. They'll move, they'll transition, they'll adjust, they'll go through life with you. The funk.
See what I mean? Right?
He's just bringing the funk.
I'm a funk magnet. I don't know what to say. I'm a funk magnet. That's going to be the next channel name. I'm going to do a channel pivot. It's going to be like youtube.com/funk magnet. That's going to be,
Okay. Don't say that because people will take that. Go register that right now. Right now.
I'm not really going to do that. I'm not really going to do that. If I did, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just been, I would have keep talking, Lori, keep talking. I would have been registering everything in the background.
Pro tip, don't ever say anything on live you don't want somebody else to do first if you haven't done it.
They will absolutely do
What
it. Do
the
that.
funk?
See, I love it. Yeah, at
Yes.
the very least, maybe I'll make a shirt out of it or something like that. So the whole point of this live stream was to build people's confidence. And this is perfect that you're on here because I can't think of anybody else in the entire world who's more qualified to assist in this than you. So thank you for coming on, even if it's just for a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
So the whole thing is I want to invite people on, one, who have never gone live before. If you've never gone live because you're afraid to go live for whatever reason, today is your day. I'm going to share a link out into the chat and you can come on and Luria and I can just kind of walk you through things and get you comfortable being live in front of the audience. If you have any concerns, you can ask us questions about it. Maybe it's about tech, maybe it's about things that you need to say, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead, and this might be a little bit chaotic at first, just dropping a link into the chat.
Oh, you're brave.
Yeah, I am. But you know what? I have an awesome community here. So here's the thing.
Yes, you do.
Here's what I ask. Number one, you need to have a camera. You have to have a camera. We need to see your face. You don't have to have a studio or anything like that, but we need to see your face. And number two, you need to make sure that your audio sounds somewhat decent. If you have a lot of noise going on in the background or kids screaming or something like that, let's not do that. So,
and pants. You have to be wearing pants.
Okay, you want to carry this then because I probably need to put pants on. You just disqualified me for my own stream.
No.
Yeah, we're going to be respectful and we're going to keep this family friendly. So brand friendly, family friendly, the way we like to keep things. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this into the chat right now. It is first come, first serve.
While he's doing that, you guys, don't pass up this opportunity. If you're not going live, if you have that fear, it is the only, saying yes to opportunities. And this is an opportunity that Dee is presenting to you. Saying yes to opportunities, even though you don't know how, even though you don't know why, even though you don't know what. All of the doubts and the fears and the what ifs exist for every single person. The only difference is that the people who succeed in the things that you hope to succeed in, they're only succeeding because they're doing, because they're taking that step over that line of uncomfortable to get to the comfortable. So take this opportunity. Do not just sit back and watch, participate, and you will find bigger and better results out of it.
I love that. And what you said is 100% true. Some of the most amazing opportunities I've ever had in my life, I've said yes to without being fully prepared.
Oh my God. Yes.
Right?
Every big opportunity in my career, I have said yes to, even though I was scared to death. And even though I had no idea how I was going to accomplish it. When Panasonic came and asked me to host their live stream, multi-million-dollar production, I had no idea how I was going to do that. I said yes, and then I figured out how. When Leo Laporte asked me to co-host his TV show with him back in the day, I was just starting out. I had no experience. I didn't know how I was going to show up and do that. Live video for the first time ever. I didn't know how. I said yes, and I figured it out, and I succeeded, right? Like, that's how you get results.
I love that. You know, the first time I went live was on Nick's channel. Before I had my own channel, I went live on his channel. And I think at the time he had maybe 150,000 subscribers or something like that. And he was getting a really good turnout. And, you know, we were talking about building the studio together and so on and so forth. So I went live on his channel, you know, right out of the gate. It was trial by fire on Nick's stream. And I was terrified. I was absolutely.
Of course you were.
I had built the studio. I'd put all the tech together, but I'd never actually gone live before, right? So I had to, first time going live, running the tech, running the show, everything. That was trial by fire.
That's intense.
I learned really quick. Yeah, it was great. All right, so let's start bringing some people on. So first up, we've got
Nook. Sorry, Little Crafty Nook. Excuses. My computer is giving me crap. Jump on your phone.
Yep.
Do it. Okay, keep going. Sorry. I'm not
I love
taking
it.
over the show.
All right, so what we're going to do, I have some people waiting down below. I'm going to start bringing people on one at a time. And so if you're waiting down there, just please wait patiently. First up is going to be Matt Carves. Matt, how you doing? Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I love it.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
So
I love
Matt,
that you're in your workshop.
Yeah, I'm
Matt,
in the workshop.
you've never gone live before. I didn't know that.
No, I've never ever gone live before. I've sort of, well, I've only been sort of 6 months into it, so.
Now you have. Now you have.
What is stopping you from going live on a regular basis, like once a week or something like that with your community?
I don't know. It's sort of, I'm not sure what I'm going to do on live, I guess. You know, what am I going to carve and all of that, or show people what I do and things like that.
Okay. For those people who don't know, tell people what your channel's about, and let's figure out what you can do for your live streams.
Yeah, well, I do power carving, and I do sort of things like this boat here, and that's going to be turned into bronze, which is cool. And I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to put it on this thing.
Amazing.
And I do sort of like little things like that.
Wow.
Whoa.
How cool
The
is that?
detail.
And that's from the Lewis chess pieces that were found in Scotland. So I do all of those kind of things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Um,
what? I mean, come on, D, agree with me, please. People love workshop stuff. Like people
Yes.
love that behind the scenes stuff of shooting your videos, of making those decisions, like the community aspect. Like you've been doing this for 6 months with recorded video, it sounds like.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
The community aspect of making the decisions, of figuring out how you're going to assemble it, all of those things, and just talking with people and connecting with people, like that's a powerful way to use live in your situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Matt, when you're making this, I know you're using power tools for a lot of this, which is going to be really noisy, and maybe that's not the best idea. The power tool part might not be the best idea, but are there steps beyond the power tool or before the power tool where you can actually talk about what you're doing? Maybe you're sketching it out, or maybe you're sanding it down, or maybe you're putting varnish on it or something like that. Do you have those steps where you could go live talking about that, the process, and explaining what you're doing?
Yeah, there are those steps. You could do that. I noticed like on a lot of other channels with power carving, they'll tend to sort of like do 5 minutes of like power carving and then stop and then talk to people. So maybe that's kind of like an option to do that. Another thing that's kind of stopping me doing it is, I guess, I really want to get good at like video editing, and I've only got so much time. So sort of, I'm concentrating on that at the moment, but yeah, I really do want to do some lives. So,
Really, going live is as easy as setting up you're on your phone right now, I believe?
yeah, I'm on the phone. Yeah.
Setting up your phone just the way you did, point it at a place where you can see yourself and you can see whatever it is that you're working on, and just going live, right?
Yeah.
Putting some, maybe take a picture of what it is that you're working on, put it up as a thumbnail, and write a title. Today I'm making this, or carving this, carving. I know you like to make Viking type woodcraft, so you can say like carving a Viking bowl live or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Let people know what's going on, and just hit live and go live, right? Don't overthink it, because what's going to happen if you overthink it, and Lori will agree on this one, is you'll start finding all these reasons not to go live.
For sure.
What am I going to say? What am I going to do? Versus if you just set up your phone and you hit go live, you will figure it out along the way. And you're going to be surprised how people respond, right? Your community is going to they're going to love connecting with you, and they're going to ask questions about what you're doing. Why are you doing it that way? And you can explain the process of what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. Could I ask a technical question? I'm listening through these headphones, which is they're just like the headphones I listen to music through, but I am getting some sort of like feedback from you guys, sort of like a delayed feedback. What is that from?
Luria, go ahead. I saw you were going to say something.
Well, I think it's his internet connection. I keep seeing him like stall a little bit. I think that's probably, I don't know what you mean when you say feedback, because that means a lot of different things for different people.
Okay.
But I think that what you're experiencing is an internet connection issue. So do you know what your speeds are on the upload?
No, I don't. But we're not on fiber here or anything like that. So we're on copper. So just because we're living kind of rurally and out in the country.
Yeah.
So
if you just go to Google and type in speed test, once you're off this, you'll see what the upload speed is. And for live streaming, that's what matters most, not the download. It's the second thing, data point that it gives you. And so, you know, if you have less than, I think you were saying this before, 4 megabits per second upload speed, then
minimum,
you're going to have an issue. Yeah, minimum. I like going for 5, but I've seen people accomplish it with 3. Your phone data may have better speeds, but maybe not, since you're in a rural area, and so you may need to connect to Wi-Fi, et cetera, et cetera. So you just want to pay attention to that. And if go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're doing this on your phone and your internet connection is slow, definitely try to stream at 720p instead of 1080p. It's going to be less data actually going up.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing, Matt.
Oh,
go ahead.
Kendrick pointed out he could have 2 streams going. You could actually be watching the stream because you connected through StreamYard. If you were watching it and you didn't pause it, that might be what you're talking about.
You're listening to us live while streaming at the same time, and it's creating an echo.
Yeah.
Because you're fine for me. Like, I can hear you fine. You're not echoing for me.
Totally. See, he just paused. I do think he has an internet issue.
Could be.
But
so while Matt's paused, we lost Matt. Matt down.
No. I think, I just want to tap into, what you said, Dee, which is the fact that, you have the ability to involve your audience in decisions, involve people emotionally. That's when they're going to feel connected to you. And so helping or allowing people to help make decisions in your processes, this goes for everybody. It's really powerful when it comes to live.
It is. And one of the easiest ways I found, starting when I started live streaming on my channel by myself, I just did a simple Q&A. I did a simple Q&A.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I got the look. Go ahead.
Okay, but you're Dina, man.
But I didn't used to be. Right?
I just hate for people to hear that advice. And if they don't already have engagement on their channel, it's very unlikely that they're going to have live engagement just yet. And so I want to caution people not to jump in that too early. You can do predetermined questions, right? Like the top 10 questions that you normally get asked, or pre-planned questions. You can totally do that. But if you don't already have an engaged audience, don't expect people just to show up. Like, live is not magic. And so you need to have that engagement first.
I will stand down. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lori Petrucci Show. Take it away, Lori. No, you're right. That's a really good point, because when I did start, I had the luxury of becoming known on Nick's channel first. So when I started live streaming on my channel, I had...
You were ahead.
Yeah, I was ahead. I wasn't starting at 0. So I definitely did. So you're 100% correct with that. If you are getting engagement, if you are having people show up in your lives, then would you say that's something to look into, or?
Absolutely. Q&As are fantastic if you have engagement already. Yeah.
If you have engagement. Okay. So Matt is still down there. I'm going to add you real quick here. So Matt, listen, I know you're a channel member. I appreciate that for that. I appreciate you for that. Listen, I want to see you go live on your channel. Just go live. Post it.
Cool, man.
let your community know, maybe 3 days in advance, let them know, and just go live. You know, if a couple people show up, that's fantastic. You'll figure it out, and just don't overthink it.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for all that advice. And it was that I had two, I still had the other one open as well. So I've just closed that down and it sounds great.
Yeah, you sound fine. You sound fine. There's no reason not to go live. But I will caution you here. If you are going to turn on the power tool, I would consider muting your audio because that would be really loud. It's going to be really loud coming through.
Yeah, cool.
Other than that, mate, just go live, man.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Wait,
Matt.
who's gonna be Matt's accountability partner in the chat room?
Super chat. Matt needs an accountability partner. I love that. Hey, Matt, when you're going to go live,
job,
post it in the Facebook group, okay?
Cool. Yeah, I will.
All right. Thanks, man. Carter P,
Go
thank you for
get
the
it.
super chat.
Thank you.
All right, up next. Look who it is. Little Crafty Nook. How you doing?
Hi. Thank you.
You got your phone.
Yes. Thank you for pushing me. Oh my gosh.
This is the first time you're live, right?
Yes. Yes.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
love it. How do you
Yes.
feel?
Nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, I've been on Zoom before, of course, but this is a little different.
You're on with
D
the famous
and the
D.
Jessica. Oh my gosh.
You're doing fantastic. There's
Thank
nothing to be
you.
nervous about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Going live now. I will say this: when you're going live by yourself, when you have to carry the conversation, it does. That can weigh on you a little bit to get started. Here's something that I did. Like I said, I started doing Q&A, but when I started going away from Q&A for a while, one of the things that I did is I took a Sharpie because I'm old school like that. I still do it here.
Yep.
I keep this by me at all times. A Sharpie and some sort of a notepad or something like this, right?
Yeah.
I write
Red
stuff
shirt.
down. What's that?
What?
I was trying to read your
yeah.
Post-it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's my passwords. My password to my YouTube channel and my password to my bank account.
Yes. Finally.
mark that down, everybody.
Finally, you can have all the nothing that's in there. It's all yours. And what I would do is I would just write down things to talk about. I would write down 5 things that I want to talk about, and it would just keep me on track. So whenever I got to the point where my brain started to, because my brain locks up all the time, I start daydreaming while I'm streaming, I would go back to that and I would, here's what I'm supposed to talk about. And I would talk about those things. And when I was done talking about it, if my audience was not very engaged, I would wrap up the stream. But that note would keep me focused and give me things to talk about.
Okay, well,
That's
right now,
awesome.
everybody in the chat is saying hi. It's good to see my face, and I want to say hi back.
Yes.
You guys are
Yeah.
awesome. I'm
What's
really
your
blessed
content about?
with a great community. I am a paper crafter, specifically
Nice.
greeting cards. Matter of
Ooh.
fact, here's one I just made.
Oh, look at that.
It's for a for a 2-year-old boy. His birthday's tomorrow,
Oh
How
my
cool is
god.
that?
and they're a Spanish couple. So underneath the sentiment, I translated it into Spanish.
Oh.
That's so sweet.
Oops. Yeah.
So, question:
Yes.
Why did you start doing greeting
Okay.
cards?
I wrote a little piece on my about section on my channel. I got started with a former patient. Unfortunately, she was very sick. And then she found out that I was interested. I had gone to like a Joann's fabric store, craft store, and I saw this magazine. I thought, hey, this is so I grabbed it. And then I told her about it. She goes, oh, and then she and her boyfriend start pulling out all this stuff. I mean, all the equipment, all the stamps that I could have asked for, all the paper that I still have a lot of. And so, yes, so I went ahead and put that in my about page because she has since gone on. And I'm just, everything I do, I have her picture up on my bulletin board.
That's Oh man, see that? I'm
I
glad you
know.
added it to your about section. When you do
Yes.
videos or live streams, that's the story you need to tell. Like
Yes.
you
Yes.
can't tell that enough. Like that's
Okay.
that makes me like want to watch your streams because you're going to do them, first of all,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
secondly,
ma'am.
because it endears me to you. You know, I understand it's not just greeting cards to you. It's now a really personal story that you have a why behind why you do what
Yeah.
you do. That's
Furthering her
impressive.
legacy. Yes.
Oh man. Oh, I'm
That's
gonna cry.
incredible. So you need to be going live,
Okay.
right? You have a story to tell. You have a story to tell. And that's that connection. Like what you just said, that connection to you has just completely reframed. Like you and I mean, we've communicated in Facebook, we've
Yes.
communicated
Yes.
through chat, through live streams, but I've never had like a face-to-face conversation with you. I didn't
Right.
know why you were doing your channel. And that just reframed my entire thought about what's happening on your channel.
Oh,
You know,
thank
it wouldn't
you.
change my content strategy that we've talked about, but it just kind of gives me a
Right, of
deeper
course.
understanding of why you're doing what it is that you're doing. And those are the things, like that is exactly the stuff that, like, I'll never forget that. And like that's the powerful thing about live streaming. I would have never known that in a million years. You've come to almost every one of my live streams and member live streams. I never knew that. 3 minutes live with me, boom, it's out.
Boom.
With us,
Yeah,
stream with us,
great.
right? Like right
Well,
there.
the
That's
mechanics of it, I was like, well, I film with my phone and it's up in an Archon phone stand.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting on the iPad. Now I have my iPad. So I just
There you
want to be able
go.
to see the comments. So yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
I love it.
Those are the stories and the things that you
Yes.
weave into your content. And this goes for everybody in every kind of content situation. You're weaving in those personal meanings and the examples and the stories that you have experienced into your main content. And that's how you become uniquely you. That's how you draw in that audience based on who you are. It doesn't have to change the strategy, as Dee said.
No,
It just
of course not.
enhances
I'm working
it.
on that
Yeah.
too. I wanted to pause and say a quick hello to Liron Sergey.
Hey, Leron. How you doing, buddy?
Love you.
Aw.
And you know, also, you don't have to stream on YouTube. I don't know how many other platforms everybody's in.
Right.
I've been pushing people for a long time, trying to get people on TikTok and Instagram Reels and other short form platforms. Wherever you are, whatever platforms you are, if they have the ability to go live live on those platforms too. If you're like, hey, I've got my YouTube channel, but I'm afraid to go live there because I'm afraid of messing things up. Grab TikTok, go live on TikTok, build your confidence somewhere else.
Yeah,
You know, before you come over.
absolutely.
Yeah, because I know Roberto does like 5 different things.
Roberto Blake is omnipresent. He is everywhere. He is everywhere at the same time.
Ooh, pretty close to God there.
So yeah,
You did fantastic. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm outgoing, so this is going to be fun. Pixel PS said earlier, be warned, this is addictive. I'm like, ooh, I think I can.
Okay. She's like, oh, addictive? I'm there.
I'm there.
It is. It's very, very addictive. It's so addictive that when I have times where I can't stream over the weekend, like I'll go through the next week feeling like there's a part of me missing.
Withdrawal.
Like, man, I don't feel complete this week because I missed this week's live streams.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know a couple of other card makers that do lives also. So I said, I want to join in the fun.
Yeah, collaborate with them too. Invite them on. Maybe they'll invite you on.
Absolutely.
Collaborations, baby. That's how you grow.
Good idea.
How do they do their live streams? Do they show how they're making the cards, or are they just answering questions? Or what are they doing?
Show how they make the cards. Sometimes it'll go. Sometimes, like I know one lady, she just started this live stream. She does it with her sister, and they'll just go back and forth between showing their face and then showing showing what they're doing. Now, that's another question I had. In order to do that, would I need something like Switcher to go back and forth?
What do you
If
have?
I
What
wanted
kind
to
of,
do that, if I wanted to show my face and then go back to my hands,
are you doing everything on your phone?
I'm recording on my phone. Yes.
Okay. Do you have a computer?
Okay.
Yeah. But it's over
Okay.
here. My craft table's over there.
So you have a couple of different options here. You also said you have an iPad. You have an iPad
Yes.
and an
Yes.
iPhone? If you have an iPad and an iPhone, switch your
Yep.
studio. So, you know,
Okay.
I love, like, there's some great
Yeah.
platforms out there. StreamYard,
Mm-hmm.
Ecamm, vMix, there's some great platforms. But because you do have an iOS device, switch your studio might be the easiest
It's a
because
really good option. Yeah.
it's a really good option. You can set it up on your iPad as the main controller.
I have
And
Switcher
use-
on my phone. Yeah.
You have it on your phone. Okay, so you can put it on your iPad and your phone.
Perfect.
Use your iPad to actually switch the camera. Use your iPad camera to actually film you. Set your phone up as a craft shot, like an overhead shot or an angle to actually see your hands. Then you can tap on your iPad to actually switch over to the phone.
Okay.
Yes.
The Archon phone mount probably isn't big enough to hold the iPad. That's the only thing.
Okay.
I think
Set
they
it up on
have
some
one,
books,
but
or-
there's, yeah,
Oh.
there's, I mean, you can get a mount for the
For
iPad,
iPads?
of course,
Okay.
but you can hack it too. Like, I have so many videos that I've done from the phone where I literally just have some books propped up and just hacking it. Like, you have no excuses, right? But you can definitely get some you can definitely get some mounts for the iPad as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me show you what I'm. So I have my iPad off screen here, and let me show you what I use. I picked up a mount, and I'm happy to send you the link for this. Let me try not to break stuff as I move it.
Okay.
I've got this mount, and it extends.
There you go.
There. It just extends to this, and the iPad goes down in there.
There you go.
It's not 100% super stable, but I can like press on it and tap
You
on
can
it
put
and play
books on
music
it or
while I'm working.
something.
Yeah, it works fine. It works. Whoa, it just fell over. That's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, it works great.
Yeah.
And it just fell over.
Let me show you how.
But it doesn't
stable
have an
I am.
iPad on it.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I'm happy to
The-
send
the-
you the link to that. There's a few
Okay.
different really good options for iPads
Yeah.
for putting them up to go live.
As
And-
Leron is pointing out, just do it. Like, okay, so he says you can work it out later, just start doing it. I had a student who, and I teach all of the professional setups, right? I had a student ignore everything I said, does crafts just like you, and she ignored the switching, right? And just streamed her crafts and occasionally turned the camera, like the same camera, onto her face for a year, maybe even a year and a half.
Mhm.
Grew her business by 30% just
Wow.
by doing that. But like, she didn't focus on trying to get the perfect setup. She didn't focus on having both the camera and the crafts at the same time. She just took that step and did it. And so the crafts market is incredibly powerful when it comes to live streaming. Like, that is a massive market.
Yes.
And so I would just encourage you to not get hung up on trying to do both. You have Switcher Studio. It sounds like it'll be pretty easy for you to get started in doing both. But if you get hung up, don't let that stop you. Like, point at the crafts. Cool. It works. 30% growth over a year.
Yeah, and here's a little key thing.
Sorry.
When you're going live with your phone, put your phone in like do not disturb mode.
Yeah. That was my iPad.
Yeah.
Obviously, because they're linked.
Put them both in do not disturb. And what Larry just said is correct. Don't not stream because you're trying to find the right way to prop up your iPad. You can completely use your mount, turn on your phone. You could use StreamYard for that, or you could just go direct through YouTube to do that if you wanted to. I don't know where you're at subscriber wise. I don't remember, but just you could do it with your phone and then just tell them, okay, I'm
884,
going
I
to
think.
I'm going to reframe this, and you could just put it down on your screen or put it down on your hands. Your community will understand if you've got to reframe your phone. Don't let the gear stop
Absolutely.
you from actually streaming.
Okay.
You've done great.
Awesome.
You're not even nervous. You don't even look nervous. You look completely comfortable.
I just wanted to point out Chatty Cathy just became a member.
Yeah, I gotta do this. Chatty Cathy.
Yep.
Welcome to the Niminati.
No, I'm not nervous now. Thank
Chatty
you.
Cathy,
guys.
welcome to the Niminati. Thank you so
Chatty
much for becoming a
Cathy.
channel member. Okay, so yeah, you've done fantastic. Oh, Sammy Superstar left a super chat.
Super chat.
Where did it go? Sammy's awesome. I'm going to go back through the chat here. Where'd it go? He says, going live is hard when you're getting started, but when you get the hang of it, going live is so much fun. 100%.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
It is. And when you go live, be sure to post it in the Facebook group to let us
Thank
know
you,
if we
Sammy.
can see it in time. I would love to come in and check out your lives. As long as I'm awake. As long as I'm awake,
Okay.
I see it.
There's that.
Misunderstood? Thank you so much.
Misunderstood.
To the Niminati.
Thank you so much. For those of you who are joining for the first time, when this stream is over, go to the community feed on my channel, and I'm going to post a link to the members' Facebook group. So if you have questions about YouTube, about growth, about live streaming, I'm happy to answer any questions you have in there. So thank you. Okay, Nikki, I am going to pull you down. You look more chill than I do right now. Like,
She does, seriously.
Thank you.
You've done
Oh,
amazing. You've done amazing.
you were great.
The hardest part has been done. You've gone live. Now all you have to do is just do it on your own.
Yes.
And it's
broke
as
the ice.
easy. It's as easy as just hitting go and just figuring out when you go. Just figure it out.
Okay. Okay. Thank
You did
you.
amazing. All right.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Go get it.
I love it. All right, next up, he's been waiting patiently. Kendrick. Kendrick, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Bye.
Yeah. So you've never gone live before? You sound too good to never have gone live. Come on.
Well, I'm a video producer, and I know my way around technology, but I have a pretty small channel, and I'm in the middle of kind of transitioning away from what I was doing before to something a little newer, and I just don't think anyone would show up, and I don't think I have much to say that's of interest for a very long amount of time. So that's kind of the why. And I have no fear of going live on someone else's channel, talking about whatever they're interested in talking about. But for my audience, I don't think I know them very well, and I don't feel like I have quite the right content figured out for them of what would be interesting. And then I think if I just try something, I mean, I could. There's no reason I shouldn't, but I just think they won't show up, and I'm going to be talking to myself, and then I'm going to be feeling real bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are valid concerns.
Yes.
Let's address them one at a time. Let me ask you this. What is your channel about?
It's mostly around the tools that help people like me, video producers and photographers in the creative field. So a lot of what has built up my subscribers so far is I've done a lot of bag reviews, camera bag reviews.
Okay.
There's been some other technology related videos, some reviews of some software, some reviews of some other hardware, some things about where to buy used camera gear and the reasons why used camera gear is better than new camera gear in some cases, the business reasons for that, stuff like that. So it's kind of a behind the scenes of a creative professional's insights, and then bag reviews and technology reviews.
And can I ask? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why do you think you don't know your audience?
Well, that's a recent insight, I guess. Is the bag reviews thing? Like I tried vlogging a long time ago, that got nowhere, and I stumbled onto the bag reviews thing. It was like people are liking this, so I think the audience likes the bag reviews, but it's the newer stuff. It's where I'm trying to transition, bringing some more of that value of other types of material, the educational types, and here's what I've learned in my career. Bringing that in, so far that hasn't really worked out. Nobody's watching those videos yet.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, when you're introducing new types of content, that can happen sometimes, right? And sometimes it's a key indicator that they don't want that content, but other times it's that they're distracted by the things that they think they want and they need that education. So you kind of need to find the right way of talking to them about it. And I should point out that live streaming is the best way to actually understand your audience, right? Like that's where you can have a conversation. That's where you can ask the questions. You can do polls. You can do, you can get to know them. And sorry, Dee, I know I just became a member. I thought I was a member already.
I got it.
I just realized I wasn't.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Well, I'm not, but I feel the obligation to do it now.
Well, right?
Yeah.
Pressure,
Yeah.
pressure. But you know, and it is the best way to have that conversation, to get to know them, to ask them those questions. And if you want to start out, if you're not sure that people will show up, you can run a single event, right? An event of the month, quote unquote, right? To lead up to it, to promote towards it, to encourage the FOMO of getting to hang out with you and ask you those questions. And that's something that you can always do to kind of overcome maybe the fear of nobody showing up, but also the fear of nobody showing up is something that I think way too many people get hung up on. I think Dee and I probably have the same thought on this. We are vain people as human beings, and we need to get over the vanity numbers because they don't matter. Like I would rather have fewer engaged people who are actually going to show up and pay attention and comment than a lot of numbers. And when you're just starting with live streaming, fewer numbers can actually be a really good thing for you because it actually allows you to understand that you actually have a ton to talk about. You're fearful of the not knowing what to say. You have so much to say in your brain. You are so experienced. I can tell it just from you showing up and saying the few words that you said when you came here. You have so much in your brain. You just need to unlock that dam, right? And then just let it fall out. And then, but with fewer people, you actually have less pressure. Dee showed up live for the first time with a massive amount of pressure. And the DGs. And so, you know, when it comes to having so many people watching you, that's an entirely different problem that he has to perform. Now you get to actually do the work, understand live streaming, connect with a few people, unlock that dam in your brain. And then also those people, those handful of people that are going to show up are the people who are going to be the most loyal, the most engaged. They're going to become your moderators down the line. They're going to be your ambassadors for your channel because you're connecting. As long as you show up and be thankful for each and every person that does show up, they're going to be your core community, and that is power.
Luria just said everything that needs to be said about live streaming. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. It was a great, it was a great stream.
Sorry, I get on these rants, and
that's
I'm just
why
like,
she is the
whoosh.
queen. She is the absolute queen at this. I want to share with you a mistake that I did early on with live streaming. So as Luria mentioned, I learned how to live stream. It was trial by fire. My brother's Nick Nimmin, as some of you know, I started live streaming on his channel when he had around 150. Maybe it might have even been 200,000 subscribers. I don't know. So he would have a sizable turnout at that particular time. I had to jump right in on that one. And my fear of live streaming at that time with him was, I don't want to make him look bad. I don't want to make him look like he isn't, handling things professionally. So I really had to bring it in fast. Here's my mistake. I didn't start live streaming on my channel, my own personal channel, until I hit 10,000 subscribers. That was a huge mistake. And the reason I was holding off was because I was introduced to live streaming with 200 people out of the gate, and that amazing engagement, and the chat was just going crazy, and super chats were coming in. That was my standard that I thought, well, I need to wait until my channel's bigger so I can have something similar to that. And man, let me tell you, and I did. I started, and I did really well. But the mistake was I didn't learn how to live stream by myself before doing that. So what happened was I went live by myself, And the chat was going because I had 10,000 subscribers in there. I'd have 100 people show up right out of the gate. So everything was moving. Super chats were coming in and I couldn't handle it. I didn't know how to handle the chat. I didn't know how to handle the tech by myself. I didn't know how to handle everything by myself because I never learned how to do it for 5 people. I never learned how to do it for 2 people. So there's strength in learning how to live stream to 1 person or to 2 people. There's an intimate bond that happens there. And I've actually started streaming on Twitch for this very reason. There's something intimate that happens to a really small crowd, and you can communicate with every single person in the chat. And it gives you time to get to know your tech. You know, even though you're a professional videographer, you're a professional editor, you know your gear inside and out, probably better than most people. But I guarantee you this, and Loria can back me up on this. However good you are, however much you know your gear, and however much it's worked for you in the past, there is an unwritten universal rule that it is going to fail you eventually when you are live. And you need to learn how to deal with that stuff live. Like, what happens if you start stuttering? What happens if your audio drops out and nothing works that you think is going to work? Like, you learn how to handle your tech. And it's better that you learn how to do that in front of 2 people instead of 200 people.
Yes.
Right?
I have done a lot of live streaming as the back end on the technical side, and I have messed up a lot in front of a lot of people, and it's easy to do, and it happens, and you gotta be quick on your feet, and it's true. It's just I'm not used to being the entertainer. I'm not used to being the one front and center, and
this is an opportunity for you to experience things from the entertainer perspective, right? And to put the 2 pieces together. And Dee is right. It's going to be a challenge, and you got to lean into that challenge. Can I tell you guys a story about a student who actually had 0 viewers and made money?
Let's go.
So Andy Smiles she's a bookkeeper. And she went live for the first time ever. And I told her that it was possibility that no one would show up, right? So she went live. She took a Post-it and she covered up the area where the live viewer count was going to be. She didn't look at it. She didn't look at chat. She didn't look anywhere. She just showed up. She delivered her content in the proper show flow, just like bam, 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 bam. Here's the value that I promised you. Did it just like it would be a recorded video, and no viewers showed up, no comments came. Within 24 hours, she made a $3,000 sale for a contract, and that contract turned into a bigger contract with that same client, then snowballed into more clients for her because more people, the word of mouth. That person signed that contract because she, quote unquote, loved the way Andy showed up confidently on camera. That says it all. Like, boom, you can show up to 0 viewers and still get results, whether that's money or something else. The value that you have in your brain, delivering that, being of help and of value to other people in whatever format that takes for you, that's all you got to focus on.
And so she left that video. She put that up left it on her channel, and somebody saw it a little later.
Yeah, the replay value. Live is not just about live. Live is also about that replay value. And if you treat it as such, you can actually get massive results.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and I'm
Congrats.
at 3,600 watch time. 3,600 watch time. So I'm real close, and I'm thinking and hearing ways like going live is a good way to get yourself over that hump.
Yes.
And so I'm probably I'm leaning towards it. It seems like something that's valuable in a lot of ways, and so I'm going to do it. The content. I have a few ideas, and I guess I could just try them and see what happens. And
hey, Kendrick, what's successful on your channel? What videos are you making that people are responding to?
Man, you know what? There is a few varieties of. There's like a tier of several that really took off, and they're not consistent with what they are. I think there's a little bit of luck involved. One was a 3-minute how to resolve an error on Google Chrome.
Okay.
Another one was a vlog. Actually, it took off a year or two after I made it, 3 years later, about a bookstore. And then another one was a backpack review. So like wildly different videos, and those several get the most, by far the most traffic. So I don't really know the answer to that.
One thing, so I'm going to guess you have an entire studio full of gear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you mentioned that you do bag reviews. Are you doing a lot of bag reviews?
I've probably done about 25 total.
Okay, you've got a lot of bags.
Yeah.
So if I were in your situation, things that I've done gone live before too for my members, or like some of my first members live stream on my YouTube channel were all behind the scenes, where I set it up on my phone and I set it up in the studio where they could tell that I was in the studio. And I was just talking about the different things I had in the studio and why I use them. And I would talk about the differences between the microphones and why a dynamic microphone might be better than a lavalier microphone in a certain situation. I was just kind of going around and explaining the different gear and the different lights that I had and how I set things up. And it wasn't too serious. I was just kind of walking through what I had. So that's one thing that you could do, because from people who are interested in getting started and what it is that you're doing, they're very interested in what kind of gear do you have? What kind of lights do you have? What kind of microphones do you use? What are you recording with? What kind of cameras do you have? There's so much to talk about. How do you what brand of white balance card are you using, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things to ask. But since you're doing a lot of bag reviews, you could also try like your next bag review, do the unboxing live, right? Do like unboxings live where you can take it out and talk about it in real time. Those are things that I might think about trying on your channel at first without having to worry about having to carry the conversation so much. So you actually have something to do where people can ask you questions about it while you're actually doing it.
Well, that's interesting. You said the bag reviews themselves are pretty, like I could easily do them live, the whole thing. Because I don't put much B-roll in them. It's just me at a table. I'm like, here's the bag, here's what I'm using it for, here's all the stuff that fits in it, here's the pros and cons, here's all the stuff, and here's what I think. And so there's no reason I couldn't do that live. And sometimes they're long, like 20 minutes long, 20, 25 minutes long. Yeah,
and they're,
like I get
blowing up,
details. Huh? Yes, some don't, but they're really pretty well SEO optimized, so they're getting search traffic over time, and the audience grows over a lot of time. That's how most people find out about me, is through searching for bags, I think.
Yeah.
So something else that you can do. I'm sorry, Laurie, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, since you're doing, let's just say you do the unboxing of the bag and you want to polish it up more. There's nothing that says you can't actually download that clip, add some more to it, add some more B-roll to it, and re-upload it as its own standalone video as well. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So you have the live stream that happened, and then you have more that you could add to it to make it an actual polished video where you edit it and make it the way you want it to look, put a thumbnail and so on and so forth on there. So you could definitely do that. And I'm glad you touched on something that your bag reviews are sometimes 20, 25 minutes. A lot of people think that when you go live, you have to go live for an hour or 2 hours. You don't. Right. You can go live for 15 minutes. You can go live for 10 minutes. There's no limit. There's no maximum or minimum to how long you go live. Go live for as long as you need to go live. That's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. I
would actually I think now that you got me thinking about that, I would like to do, if I have an audience in the bag set, if they're looking like that, then I would like to hear what they want me to look at or test, or like if they ask me like, how strong is that zipper? And I'm like, all right, well, let's check. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty strong. That's the kind of, I would like to have a lot of interaction around that, so I can test things for them. If they're like, hey, how many books does it hold? I'm like, all right, well, let's test, So
I think that's one of the, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that's one of the things that you can test, right? Is going live pre-bag review to get the feedback, to understand what people want to hear from you. Or you can do the whole thing live, right? And kind of break it up in a Q&A and a review, and then chop off the Q&A. You can also, instead of, like D suggested, like bringing it down, downloading that, adding B-roll, re-uploading it, you can also just edit the live. We edit our lives. An hour live stream will come down to 10 to 15, 18 minutes in our replay. And that allows us to have a VOD out, but using that as a live, right? So are
you editing it in the YouTube trimmer?
In the YouTube trimmer. Mm-hmm. Just chop it up, you can't, I mean, it has to be linear editing, and you can't like move things around, but it's a simple editor, but it's kind of cool. Like, you know what I mean? Because we can like take all of that information and poosh, bring it down.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can also
great idea.
You can also do things like, depending on how you're actually streaming, Ecamm or StreamYard or OBS, Streamlabs, however you're doing it, you can actually be recording through those services at the exact same time that you're live streaming. So what you're left with is the live stream that's published. It's up to you to keep that published or not. You can also have the higher quality recorded version of that as well that you can edit and upload at a later time.
Last question, and I'll let somebody else jump on here and ask their questions. But I wondered about the value of leaving the videos on the YouTube channel or taking them down with either a new edit or both or whatever. So just curious about like the value versus the not value of leaving it up. Everything or some things or case by case.
Yeah, I think that's going to depend on how your audience responds to it. There's different ways to do live streams. When I do my live streams, I like to do it in more of a hangout type fashion. Everything is loose. I don't have a structure. I like to welcome a lot of people as they come in, and those type of live streams are not particularly good for replay value for my audience. That doesn't mean it's not going to work for your audience. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to experiment with to see what your audience actually likes. Other things that you can do, and Benji Travis is great at this over on Video Influencers. I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the chat, is he'll go live first and he'll address everyone in the chat. He'll talk for a while, talk about what's coming, and it's just really loose and, kind of get warmed up and get the crowd pumped up. Then he lets everybody know that the stream is going to start. The show is going to start. Then he starts the show with an actual hook, telling people what's going to happen. He goes through the show, and then the show ends, and then he goes back and he asks or he answers their questions there. And then once it's finished and it's published, and YouTube has finished rendering everything out, he goes into YouTube Studio, he cuts off the beginning, he cuts off the end, and what's left is a very polished show that doesn't have any of the distracting, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us, that sort of thing. Yeah. It actually plays back like a video. And he's been very successful with that. And Lori, I think that's what you're doing too. Is that what you're saying?
I'm doing a couple of different things. I'm chopping off the beginning and end, and just while I'm live, focused on training in the middle, so that's a VOD. And I'm thinking about that structure beforehand. And then sometimes we even if we're doing like a demo and it goes wrong, we'll chop out the things that went wrong so that it's a condensed version of that. But yeah, I will say this, there have been studies done, and the people who leave live up rather than pull down or unlist, there's actually benefit to it, generally speaking. So I can't really cite my sources on that or anything, but there is some hardcore data to show that there is benefit of leaving it up, even if there isn't replay value, just because of the engagement and the algorithmic benefit that comes from that. So there's something to be considered with leaving it up regardless of replay value.
I would leave it up unless it just didn't go well. Like anytime I do a stream, if I'm
proud
of the stream, when the stream is over, and I tell myself, that was a good stream, that went really well, I didn't make a complete idiot out of myself, I'll leave it up. But if something would happen and it was just riddled with tech issues or whatever, or I just wasn't happy with it, I'll usually unlist those. But something else happens. Because I primarily do recorded video content, I'm not a live streaming channel. One thing that started causing me to unlist some of my videos early on was that YouTube started, I was doing so many live streams and people, I had people send me screenshots of this because I started noticing that. I was like, this is weird. What happened was somebody would watch a 3-minute video, a recorded video, and then watch next, here's a 3-hour live stream. And this was happening a lot. And I was like, wait, YouTube keeps recommending my live streams to people. And I just didn't like that connection of them. This person just watched a 3-minute video on how to connect a microphone to your phone. I don't want to show them a 3-hour live stream for answering YouTube questions next. So I started unlisting a bunch of videos to try to keep that balance. So as your content library grows, just something to keep in mind and just be aware of. YouTube can work in mysterious ways sometimes.
I'm gonna get out of here.
At the
Thank you guys for thank you. I mean, I want to say thanks to you two for doing this. And then I see Liron in there making more suggestions down in the comments.
Yes.
Appreciate him
Liron's
too.
amazing.
I get a lot of great information from the whole YouTube ecosystem. I love everybody. But I'll let somebody else jump in here. I want to get other people's perspectives too. So thank you guys for the time.
Yes,
really appreciate it.
Kendrick, man, just make it
Thank
happen.
you.
Make it
Yes.
happen. I would
I
love
will.
to see you start going live, and as soon as you do it that first time, you're going to be like, that was easy. I'm just gonna keep doing
I
it.
know you're right.
Do
All right.
it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Kumarang Pam.
Super chat.
Kumarang Pam. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I'm a proud live streamer. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate
Love it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Next up, he's been waiting patiently. Is it Gerald?
Whoa. Is this
Gotcha.
thing on?
Caught you.
Yeah.
Pants on, buddy.
No,
Pants on.
But do you have
All right,
pants on?
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I like 20 minutes ago I heard some live gunfire, but hey, don't be scared. It's gonna be okay.
I'm in Mexico,
don't
so
live
that's
near a
that's
firing-
Tuesday for me.
Yeah, I don't live next to the firing range, so I mean then I wouldn't think anything of it, but it's okay. How you guys doing? Dean? Lori? Gerald? Okay, man.
Yeah, hey, thanks for joining us, Gerald. Hey, tell me, what is your
Yeah.
channel about, and what's stopping you from going live?
Well, no, I've been going live actually every Wednesday. Yeah. I even got, look at this. I even got a rig. Look at that $40 rig.
Nice.
Huh? It's got a light
Love
on it. and
it.
everything.
All right.
Except the
Woo-hoo.
mic doesn't. The mic doesn't work, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's
All
got a
right.
little shotgun mic thing with the thing, but it doesn't work. But I don't care. Whatever. My mic works on my phone, so it's fine. I don't.
Well, what's
I'm
your
not gonna
channel
worry
about?
Call of Duty. Commentaries.
Gamer. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, gaming. Yeah, I know. You're like, oh god, he's a gamer, but no, it's
No,
okay.
not at all.
Nope.
So D,
Hey,
how's
you're
it feel
rocking
being
it.
world famous? No, I'm just, I want to actually start interviewing people. I mean, I know I'll probably screw it up, but I don't care. It'll be funny. I think it'll be funny.
Well, a perfect way, if you're doing gaming, then a perfect way is to invite another gamer on and you play together and
Exactly.
you start honing those interview skills while you're gaming, right?
Right,
You can
right.
totally play that game and then, yeah, as Paul Burke points out, I'm a huge gamer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think both D and I are not gamers. But no, you can hone those interview skills while you're gaming and do a collaboration. And try to kind of like fine tune those skills that way.
that's a good idea. I was actually going to interview myself, but that probably wouldn't work out too well. So, Shirley, what do you think? I mean, it might be funny for a couple minutes, but then people will be like, "Yeah, this guy's insane." So I'm not going to.
You never know what your audience is going to respond to.
That is true.
Test everything.
I mean, I was going to interview a tree, but I mean that probably wouldn't be good video either. I mean, I want to start making videos and stuff, but that probably wouldn't turn out very well.
So when you're gaming, are you gaming? Are you showing yourself on the screen as well, or is it just the gameplay?
No. I usually just do like the gameplay or whatever. I'll talk about a particular gun or whatever. I'll do like a gun review thing and just stuff like that. I recently did a Superman video. It was sort of like a Superman video. It was a plastic Superman laying down, and I was yelling at it and stuff, and telling it to get up. And yeah, don't ask.
And are people reacting
why.
to it?
I don't believe so. I don't really. I'm not really worried about it, but I thought it was kind of funny, so I just went with
Hey.
it.
Cool. So do you have any questions? Anything we can help you with?
Well,
Or you just want to hang
yeah.
out?
Well, no, it was just, yeah. I mean, this is good. I mean, you were like, yeah, come on up. I'm like, all right, yeah, screw it, I'll do it. I've been doing it every Wednesday, so why not? I usually have like one or two people or whatever come in, and it's like I'm not even really worried about the count or whatever or whoever's going on. I just start talking about this and that and whatever. I'm not worried about it too much.
That's the right approach
Good.
to have. I think one of the biggest disservices that all of these platforms do is they give us a view count while we're live.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be something that everybody should be able to turn off when they're just getting started. So you don't have to worry about how many people's watching you. Just go in, start going live, and don't worry about the actual view count of how many people's watching you, because it really doesn't matter. If you're talking,
Yeah,
you know,
I
if
mean,
you're talking to 100
right.
people, if you're talking to 5 people, just do your thing.
I think it's just like, you know, maybe just talk like you're talking to like one person. Just go with it, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever idea you come up with, talk about a poll. What kind of Call of Duty do you like? How many controllers have you broken in the last year or whatever, you know? So yeah,
Right.
just let
right
loose,
on.
you know. All right.
So listen,
Love
Gerald,
it.
man, since you're like a seasoned live streamer, I'm going to go ahead and put you back down. We're trying to bring up people who've never actually gone live before.
Oh, geez. Well, maybe I'll just go on. Maybe I'll just do radio. I don't know. WGC. No, I'm playing. But
keep rocking it, Gerald.
Yeah, man,
And,
keep rocking it,
you
dude.
know, just keep
Cheers, buddy. Have a good one.
experimenting.
You're number
Yeah.
one, buddy.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
All right, little crafty Nook.
Super chat.
Aww.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help over the past few months. You Nimmons are great. Don't forget Luria. Jessica, you two are amazing. Mixed up a name, maybe. Thank you for getting that out there.
That's okay. I think so, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll be
Thank you.
proud to be a Jessica, unless there's a Jessica in the comments. Maybe
There might be. There might
also,
be.
yeah. I love.
There's
By the way, speaking of comments, you guys are rocking it in the comments. I know that we haven't like called out as many because there's so many, but there are like some really valuable comments. So if you're not paying attention to the comment area in addition to the stream, you're missing out. Pixel.
Thank you so much, Pixel Pia. I appreciate you too. Okay, next up, we have Misunderstood. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
I love you guys. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. Tell us a little bit about your channel and what's stopping you from going live.
Okay. Well, my channel is about recovery stuff. So I saw a lot of channels that talk about stuff like that, but they have like a lot of time under their belt. I thought it would be cool to share the early stages and kind of document the journey. And so I've been trying to get over my camera shyness to build a community where other people will come and speak about whatever, because I feel like everything falls under that umbrella. I'm talking about like my experiences dealing with things now from a sober point of view. So I think
that's so powerful.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm still shy, but I've been trying to stream, but I'm extremely awkward. I worry about the way that I talk. I have trouble sharing stuff, and I just kind of mumble my thoughts like right now. But that's what my community is about. And I just hit 900 subscribers.
Okay, first of all, congratulations on 900 subscribers. Second of all, there's no problem with the way you're speaking whatsoever. I think you might be. Listen, let me tell you this. I legit stutter. Like I'm not like a full-time stutterer, but I have a slight stuttering problem. I've had it my entire life.
Really?
I get tripped up over. Oh yeah, I get tripped up over words.
Never noticed.
I completely space out. I mean, like ADD. I've got all of that, and my brain will literally just turn off mid-video recording, mid-live stream. I'll just completely space out, and you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because in my brain, I think, oh my God, I just spaced out for 20 seconds. And then I'll go back and I watch the replay and it was like 2 seconds and nobody notices anything. Nobody picks up on the words that I trip up on that I think, wow, I just made a fool of myself because I just didn't pronounce that word correctly, or I said the wrong thing, or whatever, my grammar, whatever. Nobody notices.
I've never noticed anything, D. Literally
nobody notices. So like, if you've got this thing where you're like, I'm worried about how I speak, listen, that's, people aren't going to notice that sort of thing. You sound fine to me.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know.
What is it about the way you speak that you're fearful of specifically?
Well, sometimes I mix up words, and when my audience is talking to me, I don't know what the words mean that they're saying sometimes. And I'll do like a Spanglish type thing sometimes.
Okay, there's a whole movie made called Spanglish, by the way. And I just want to point out, like, okay, Spanglish, mixing up phrases or words, not understanding what people are talking about. These are all three things misunderstood. I know that you've been watching me for a while. Like, have you ever noticed that, okay, just not the Spanglish thing, I don't know any Spanish, but the other two, I mix up phrases and words all the time. Have you noticed that about me?
I noticed it, and I love that about you.
Okay, so you love
There
that
you
about
go.
me. Why isn't anybody gonna love that about you?
There you go.
I don't know anything about pop culture. How do you see, I'm just going to turn this on you. How do you see me deal with that on my show when I don't understand what people are talking about?
You go with it, and you're so charming with it. You go with it, listen to the other, what they're saying, and you just kind of agree and stuff.
And I make fun of myself, right? Like, I'm like, whoosh, that went
You
way
laugh
over
at
my head.
yourself
I
a
don't know
lot.
what you're talking about, right?
And
I
you just admit that you don't
lean
know.
into that.
You'll say you don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So why
See?
can't you do that?
By
Right.
doing that,
Yeah.
by admitting you don't know, whoosh, they went over my head, or whoa, I spaced out there for a second. Whoop, I said that wrong. That shows you're vulnerable. That shows that you're a
Yes.
human. That shows that you're a human. That shows that you have flaws, just like people who are watching you have their flaws, and they can relate to that. They can
Yes.
totally relate to it. Now you are somebody they can connect with instead of somebody who's just perfect. And that's the difference between edited video and live streaming. Is I can edit a video where I come across just everything is said correctly. My pacing is correctly, or see, my spacing is correctly. There you go. My pacing is correct. Everything is done right. The lighting is perfect. Everything's right when it's recorded video, and I can edit that and polish it up.
Yes.
But when you're live, man, it's warts and all. You see who that person really is, and there's something really special about that, and that's where that human connection comes from. That's where people get on board and start to really connect with you on a deeper level, instead of just watching your polished video content. Yeah, man, just go with it.
1000%.
The people are going to love you for that. And you know what?
You
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you have a great smile. You are sweet and attractive from like beautiful, yes, but like attractive from a personality perspective.
Mhm.
I already am attracted to you, and I
Yes.
want you to hear that, because when you show up on camera, other people, your right people, are going to be attracted to you as well. And when I say
Yes.
attracted, I just want to be 100% clear. I'm talking about personality, but also you are beautiful. But like let's not focus on the beauty, right? Like, you are a personality to connect with. And I would encourage you to watch Len Clementi on YouTube. She is sharing a vulnerable thing about going through I'm going to screw it up. Introvert, the fertilization, like the
Oh yeah.
IFV.
I know
You
what you mean.
I
I love.
but like I would encourage you to pay attention to other people who are sharing from that beginning stage as opposed to the expert stage. And maybe we can drop a link or something to IVF. Yes, thank you, Chantal.
IVF.
Thank you.
Len Clementi. Yeah, if you want to, message me, I'll get you a link. But
Okay.
she's doing fantastic at that, and I think that you just might want to connect with other people who are doing that from the beginning stage to help inspire you.
Okay, I like that. I will do that. Can I ask you both a question? It looks like you're looking at me. Where are you looking? Where's your eyes on the camera? Like, where do you face? Are you looking at the lens? Where do I look?
At the lens.
I'm looking at the lens. Yeah. I'm just using my little MacBook camera, but when I'm talking to the camera. And when you're talking, I tend to kind of look down at you, but you're probably not paying attention to that.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. When you are actually speaking, look at the actual lens. Look at the lens. The worst thing anyone can do through pre-recorded video or from live streaming is not look at the lens. So if I'm speaking right now, but I'm looking over here when I'm speaking, you're not really going to have that same connection. You're like, well, he's not really paying attention. What's he looking at? But as soon as you make eye contact and you assert your dominance to the internet.
What is this? What?
No, I'm joking. Right. But you
Assert
make
your
the eye
dominance.
contact, right? You make eye
Yes.
contact and it completely changes, what's happening. A lot of people make this mistake when they're recording with their phone because people want to look at the actual screen when they're recording on their phone, be it live or pre-recorded video, and they're looking at themselves in the screen instead of that tiny little pinhole camera up here at the very top.
Okay.
So
You know what
eye
I do
contact.
as a trick is I tell people to get those arrow sign here stickies. You can get from Amazon or the Office Store, and just point that arrow towards the lens, and that'll help train your eye to go there.
Okay.
I saw somebody, do you remember when you were in school, your paper would always rip out of the binder and you could buy the little circle adhesives with the holes in it to put around the paper holes so it wouldn't rip out? I've seen
My
people
paper
take
never
those.
ripped out, by the way.
Never. You didn't
I
go to
took
my
care of my
school.
paper.
You didn't go to our school. I've seen people take those and put them over the actual lens. So it would literally build a circle around the lens so they know to look inside that little circle. So
That's a
there's
great
lots of different
idea.
ways to do that.
I love that.
Aw, thank you both. I love your material. I'm just so happy just to talk to you guys right now because I
Aw.
watched all of your stuff and I just really appreciate what you both do. Thank you so much.
Keep
for
at it.
Keep
Thank
at
you.
it,
I'm
you
gonna
know?
girl.
keep going, and I want to look at the comments in the audience and listen to you guys. But thank you so much for all of. Does it look like I'm looking at you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your help. I love you both, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Aw. I want to see you go
Thanks.
live. You've got an amazing
Yes.
personality. You can
You do.
tell. You can tell that you've got it in it. You just have to do it. Your audience, they're going to absolutely love you.
I'm gonna do it. Thank you.
You have
both.
to do it. And then come back and
Love it.
let us know that you did it. Please.
I will. I will. Thank you for that. It helps me stay accountable. Thank you.
I love that.
Love it.
Oh, thanks for coming on.
Can't wait. Hey, Dee, my
Yes.
my AirPods are about to die,
All right.
even though I charged them. But I charged them for once and they're about to die. So
Thank you.
I don't know if it's gonna go away, like if I stay on, but maybe I
Thank you
should just
so
cut
much.
out. I don't know.
Well, okay, so you're just saying
Yeah.
you might cut out. Or are you heading out or are you saying you might drop out?
I'm totally willing to stay if you're okay with bad audio, if I'm just using my MacBook.
Entirely up to you. I appreciate every minute that you're on here with me.
I'm cool for
So-
a little while unless you want to
Okay.
kick me out. Like, yeah.
No. First of all, I got to welcome Kendrick.
Welcome to the Niminati.
Thank you so much for coming out, channel supporter. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We also have some super chats.
Super Chat.
Chantel says, streaming has changed my relationship with my viewers. They are now my foundation. That's powerful. I can't imagine not live crafting. I've been streaming weekly for 3 to 4 years. I can do this into my 80s, right? I love that.
End of your 90s, whatever you want, as long as you want to go. That's so cool.
I love that. We got another super chat right here.
Super Chat.
First time catching your live. Thanks for the gems.
Aw.
The Lioness 77. Thank you so much for the super chat and welcome. Welcome. This is the first time I've
Welcome.
done something like this on the channel. Usually when I go live, I'm answering YouTube questions. It's usually Q&A.
Yeah.
But I've had so many people recently ask me like, hey, I want to go live, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid to go live. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to
Yeah.
stream about it. So here we are.
I'm glad you did. That's it's one of my favorite things to help people do.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, when this is over, I'm going to put a link to Luria's channel in the description of this video. So if you're trying to figure out whatever, also you can type in live streaming pros into YouTube and all roads lead to Luria here.
Well, and if you're okay, I don't want to come in here and
No, go for it.
like do some, but like the live every day in August challenge is about to come up, and like we're a week away. And if you are fearful of going live, like it's 31 days of every single day, and I push you. And I don't just deal with the on-camera tips. I deal with this and this primarily, and we do tackle on-camera tips, but like and content creation and things like that. But it's it's a powerful way to step over that line of that uncomfortable and move yourself and push yourself and challenge yourself. Like, it's honestly, it's a free thing that I do, and it's the most important thing I do in my entire business. Like, I freaking love that challenge because people change. They change through the month. It's so cool.
And just on a personal note, there's nobody better in the entire industry to learn live streaming from than Luria right here. So,
Oh, what do you want, Dee? I'm just joking. Thank you. That was super sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cart. Like, what do you want?
Well, you know,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take over your channel. If that's all right. You know.
Oh, you can totally take over my channel. Come on.
I'm thinking a D Nimmon show on the Live Streaming Pros channel, you know, maybe a picture of me in your channel art, something like that, you know.
Sure. I hear where you're going.
Too much? Too much?
Maybe a little. Maybe a little. But you've done takeovers. Dee has done takeovers of my channel. So.
All right, Carter P.
Carter, you're hilarious.
Super chat.
There you go, my man. Carter P. Thank you for the $3.99 super chat. Much appreciated.
Oh, I love the funk.
There you go. See, Sammy also says Luria is the queen
Sammy.
of live streaming. I love it. Okay, next up.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to give Sammy a shout out. Like, he's one person that I don't think has ever felt fear about going live. Like, he's like confident.
He goes for it. He just
goes for it. I love it.
I love it. It's been interesting watching his journey, watching his transformation of what he's going through. I absolutely love it. All right, next up. I can't see your name, sir. All I see is
Askadan.
Askadan's my nickname.
Askadan. Askadan, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I got the nickname. I used to manage a band in the 90s called Askadan.
Ah, gotcha. Now, you don't strike me as a first-time live streamer. You got a pretty...
Well, I'm a video producer.
Okay.
I got my video production degree back in 1980. So over the years, I've produced a lot, but I'm always behind the camera. I'm never in front of the camera, rarely.
Oh, okay.
And in the last couple of years, I want to get in front of the camera, but my biggest fear is like stage fright. My mind just goes blank when the camera's on. Behind the camera, I'm great. All the technical stuff, I have no problem with. People have told me all my life I've got a great speaking voice, but I'm basically afraid to use it, I guess. Even in my video productions, I create videos where I don't have to narrate anything. My videos speak for themselves, so I don't have to narrate. So I've always avoided being in front of the camera and actually speaking. I've done like 4 or 5 live streams, just kind of test the waters. And I've actually gone on other internet shows as well, kind of get a better feel on someone else's show. And then I review myself in the replay, and I can see where I'm coming along, but it's still, that moment when my mind goes blank. I forget where I'm at, and then I'm just start stuttering and try to remember where I'm at. And so that's where I'm at now. But one of the things I'm going to start doing now, where I don't have to actually be in front of the camera again so much. Well, a little bit. I'm retired now, so I'm doing a lot of stuff for the community. I actually do a lot of police videos for our police department. And now I want to kind of go towards like grand openings, local shops. When they have events, I want to do live streaming, actually from their shops. I've got enough equipment. I can do live remotes. I've got 5G hotspots. I've got all the equipment. Another weird thing that I've done here lately too are funerals because of COVID. And strangely enough, I actually did a live stream of my wife's memorial last week. She passed away in May.
Oh,
and
sorry to hear that.
I was her caregiver for 2 years. And now that she's gone, I have so much time on my hands. So I decided I'm going to go into this head first. I'm going to start live streaming. But my biggest fear is having to, speak and know where I'm at. And I seem to do better when I'm playing off somebody if I have a co-host. But I don't have a co-host or anything yet. And, it's probably something I'm looking into right now.
Yeah. What would you say to your clients if they were to ask you the question of what do I say? What would you say to them?
As far as if I was the one being interviewed?
No, like if you're streaming for other people, right? You're doing videos for the police department and things like that. Like, what would your advice be to them if they were to say, I don't know what to say?
Well, I would get with them beforehand. We actually kind of script something out.
Okay.
We script something out ahead of time, what question you're going to be asked. So it's a spur of the moment thing I think I have a problem with. If it's
Why does live have to be spur of the moment?
It doesn't have to if you script it out ahead of time.
But maybe not script, like bullet points. Could you do that?
Well, yes, exactly. With bullet points, I could, you have a headliner, then we kind of work off of that, then go to the next one and kind of work off of that. But that's my biggest weakest point right now is trying to. I mean, I've got a good following on YouTube. I've had my YouTube channel since 2006, but basically it was a place for me to store my videos that I made, and not really concentrate on getting a subscriber base or anything. But I'm up to like 3,200 people now, and the things that kept my YouTube going are some of the videos I've shot. I met Elvis Presley in 1973, and I've took 8mm video of that, 8mm film of that. The Columbia disaster. I was in my front yard, recorded the Columbia disaster as it flew over. That made a lot of headlines. So I like a lot of newsworthy stuff. Things that are happening around town, events that are happening. I like to cover them.
Is it fair to say that your channel is just a mixture of content and you don't really have any particular direction?
Exactly. I don't stay once. I've got too many things to talk about. Too many. I like a wide variety, but I've heard that's a bad thing. You should focus on one thing. But I've got a lot of things I want to talk about. In fact, I've been told I need to write a book, and I said, well, instead of writing a book, I'll go online and just tell my story. You wouldn't believe some of the things I've experienced. And so now my experiences like that, I'd like to probably do it on a live, bounce it off a co-host. We discuss things like that, but that's the hard part for me, but I need to work on that.
Well, let me just start by saying that you're not coming across to me in any way, shape, or form as somebody who is not comfortable in front of the camera.
Well, see,
you are very comfortable with what you're doing, and you're able to communicate properly. Like, I understand everything that you're saying, and I'm just listening. Like, you're talking about your experiences with Elvis and the Challenger, and I'm listening. I'm all ears. Like, you have the ability.
People tell me that too, but I don't feel it inside. It's just I need to somehow come to grips with it personally.
Here's the kicker. Like, this is so normal for, like, everybody goes through this. You don't feel what other people see, right? And so, like, people see you very differently than what you see in the mirror, than what you feel inside. And the main thing that you got to learn to do is to put away what you're feeling and rely on the things that people say about you, how people perceive you. You are vibrant and you have the ability to just talk like you've been talking for the past few minutes, right? Like, we see something very different in you than you feel. So that doesn't matter. What you feel, there's a time and place for your feelings, absolutely. But when it comes to showing up on camera, the way you're feeling is self-judgment. It's the things that we hate in the mirror. It's the things that we're scared of. It's all of the brain crap that's going on that you need to learn to set aside so that you can show up as the person that people perceive you as, which is your actual magic, right? That's what people are connecting to. And so if you can learn to separate those two things a little bit, then you'll be able to say, okay, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm gonna screw all of this up. But what I know is that people like me. What I know is that I can show up and talk. I have great stories. People like to listen to me. And so you just rely on those things.
Well, that's definitely what I need to focus on. Like, if the camera was off, I could talk your ears off, but people have even said that about me in person. If I don't know you, I don't really talk to you. But once I get to know you, you can't shut me up. It's one of those type of relationships with people, But like, people said, "Oh, I used to think you were stuck up." I said, "Well, no, I didn't know you, so I didn't talk to you."
I got called a snob as a kid because I didn't know how to talk to people. Yeah, I feel you.
But I said, "Hey, once you get to know me, you can't shut me up. I mean,
Yeah.
You'll complain that I talk too much." So, but
well, you, from what you've said just briefly, talking about Elvis and the Challenger, you have a lifetime of experience that you can share with people. And in terms of niching down, people always tell you, hey, you've got so many things you want to talk about. I completely understand that. Everybody has lots of different interests and lots of different hobbies. But when it comes to a platform like YouTube or most of the social media platforms, that's fine, but you have to understand that if you want to grow faster, if you want to build a more engaged audience, it can help if you focus down on a particular type of content instead of just throwing a bunch of things up at the wall and just hoping that people like them. For example, let's say I stumbled across. Tell me what different types of content that you've uploaded in the last 6 months. What are you uploading?
Some of my bigger videos, I used to hang out with. You ever hear of a band called Pantera? Well, I knew those guys for like 20 years. So I've got a lot of video. Dimebag Darrell, he used to sit in with the band that I managed, and so I've got a lot of unseen footage. That's non-official, I guess, but I've got a lot of stuff like that. A lot of heavy metal stuff. I mean,
okay, that within itself is an entire channel. Seriously, stories from like the 80s and 90s and like behind the stage of rock and roll and heavy metal, like that is an entire channel of fascinating stories by itself. I'm going to guess, based on your experience, you're probably a fantastic storyteller. That's the impression that I'm going to get from you, right? The limited time that you have. You're probably a fantastic storyteller. You probably have endless stories that you can share with people. So if you're making content about behind the scenes heavy metal music, and I stumble across you on YouTube and I'm like, wow, this guy has amazing stories. He's been backstage with Pantera and all these other famous musicians, and he's toured with them and so on and so forth. And then you upload a video about, rebuilding your carburetor. I'm going to go, whoa.
Well, yeah.
Well, wait, hold on here. I love your heavy metal stuff. Not so interested in the carburetor. Then you do another video or maybe it's a live stream where you're live streaming a grand opening at your local town. I'm going, wait a minute, this has nothing to do with heavy metal. So what's going to happen is the way the YouTube algorithm works is YouTube gives love to content that people respond positively to. Okay. So if I respond positively to your content about heavy metal, and then you start uploading content that I'm not interested in, YouTube sees that, and YouTube sees that as a negative signal, and it says, okay, this viewer D does not like this type of content that he's uploading now. So guess what's going to happen? YouTube will stop showing me your content. They'll stop showing me your content, and it will slow down your growth, because everybody who signed on because they love your heavy metal stories, they don't like this other content. And now YouTube will stop showing them that content because they know that when they show it to me, I don't click on it. And when I don't click on it and other people don't click on it, that hurts your click-through rate of your thumbnail. YouTube sees that as well, right? The lower your click-through rate is, the fewer people watch your videos, the less amount of time that they watch it. Those are all metrics that YouTube looks at to decide if a video is going to succeed or not, or if they should show it to more people, right? That's a simplification of how it works. So you need to be careful when you're mixing content, because it can backfire on you. All those things that you're interested in could end up not being shown to anyone, because that's not what people really signed up for. So you can do whatever you want on your channel, but if you're trying to grow a channel and build an engaged audience, focusing on something is probably not a bad idea. Well,
my problem is on the heavy metal stuff, I retired out of that. It's been 5 or 6 years since I even dealt with any of that. So it's all historical footage stuff, and I'm limited on that content, because I don't do it anymore. That's why I want to try to start slowly focus. Because some of my biggest videos, like some of the Pantera videos, I've got well over 1 million hits on one video.
Right.
My space shuttle video, that's well over 1 million hits. But then I don't have any more stuff like that. I've only got a few big ones like that. I can probably dig in my vault and find others, but it's not something I could do weekly. Maybe have guests on, we could discuss things from the past. But as far as actual video from the past, I'm limited on that, and not going to renew any of it. That's why I want to kind of focus on more community-based stuff.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, community-based stuff is fantastic. And I totally believe in giving back and bringing, raising awareness to your community. I think that's fantastic. Just be aware that when you start focusing on a local community, you are limiting your viewership to people who are only interested in that local community.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that you got to be aware of. Like if you're just like, hey, I'm focusing on community projects in my town, in my city, the only people that's going to be of interest to are people in that town, in that city. So you're definitely going to reduce the amount of people who
That's true.
are going to be interested in you in the first place.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm going to call it viral content, space shuttle exploding, that sort of thing. I subscribed to you because I found your space shuttle video. And then you start showing me Pantera videos. Those two do not mix.
That's true.
Right? So you're not building an engaged audience to where they can actually come along on the journey with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're just seeing all kinds of different types of content, which all great videos, but you're not actually building a community around your channel.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
Another option is to focus on a particular topic, whatever that winds up being, and using these stories and videos and examples as integrations within your content so that you're still storytelling, so that you're still sharing those things. But what people are showing up for consistently is topic X, and your examples and your stories are weaved into your content to build that authority or the human connection or the interest, right? So there are a couple of different ways that you can approach it.
Yeah, maybe my storytelling, maybe it's anything interesting and I tell the story interesting enough, maybe they'll come back because they want to hear my story, no matter what the story is.
Right. That's definitely one way, right? Is to build based on your capabilities and your but that's the kicker on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Is that people aren't searching for good storytellers.
That's true.
And so that kind of stuff plays really well on Twitch or Facebook.
I do know one thing that I want to stay away from is politics. We'll not go to politics.
Good idea.
To me, when you go into politics, you lose half your audience right off the bat, no matter what side you're on.
Yes.
I want to keep all of my base. I don't want to lose half of them. So no politics.
Fair enough.
Well, it sounds like you're at the stage now where because you don't have a direction. I would recommend this from a YouTube strategy standpoint. You have all these interests, so you're throwing a bunch of stuff up against the wall. Okay. What really matters on your channel isn't so much that things that you uploaded years ago, because I know some of those more viral videos are still going to be delivering views, but they might be bringing the wrong views to your channel, right? Not all views are equal, right? Like if you have a channel where you're teaching people about video production, but you have a space shuttle catastrophe video that's got 1 million+ views and it's bringing people in from that, those people are not really interested in video production, right? Yeah. So you're at the stage where you have all these interests. I would start trying different things. And as soon as you start to find something where you're like, hey, anytime I do this type of video, it gets a really good response. If you start noticing those patterns, then I would lean more into those things and stop doing the things that aren't working on you. Once you do find that direction where it's like, hey, I continuously do this sort of video and it gets a good response from people, lean into that. And then maybe start going live and talking about those things.
I have learned too that some of the things that you think aren't going to get many hits, get a lot of hits.
Yeah.
4th of July. I just want to do I had bought a bunch of new equipment. I want to try it out on our fireworks on 4th of July here in our city. I go out there and the Wi-Fi was screwed up. It was just, so the stream was broken. That was one of the biggest hits that I ever had. Yep. 1,400 hits in one night, and then it was a screwed up broadcast.
Viewers will surprise you. That's for sure. There are a couple of comments that are really interesting. RPG says Storytime is a huge hit right now. And then Michael Peppertag said, I'd love to see him talk about his perspective on newer bands and artists. He could use his history with real music over the years and compare them. That's a killer idea right there.
That's good.
I like that.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I kind of got out of the music, because it changed too much for me. It just changed.
Well, you could be the grumpy guy who hates music.
That's right.
Lean into it.
Okay, what about this? You come from a professional music background.
Yeah.
the search for trying to find, like, old grumpy guy trying to find new music that's worthy of listening to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's for somebody like
That's
me,
cool.
I'll be I'll be 50 next year. For me, that's fascinating because I'm in the same boat. 70s, 80s, 90s, I think were the best time for music. And then the stuff's coming out these days. It's rare I come across someone where I'm like, wow, that's a great band. So when I do find them, I'm like, I share it with everybody. You got to listen to this band. It's like a real band. They actually play,
Yeah.
So I would watch that. I would totally watch that.
All right. Well, I appreciate your help.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm the most active on Twitter. If you've ever got any questions about your channel or whatever, just reach out to me on Twitter or come back in my streams. I'm usually live every Sunday. So thanks for coming on with this.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Go kill it.
Yeah,
Love
man.
it.
Go get it. Misunderstood. Thank you so much.
Super chat.
Thank you so much for the encouragement. I'm adding it to my toolbox. Go get it.
Yay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. What do we have here? Luis, my man. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Come on. You're a professional live streamer. What are you doing?
Come
I just
on.
have to thank you for giving me the opportunity.
It's good to
What's
see
going on,
you.
man?
I'm doing great, man. I just wanted to come on here and thank both of you guys because to share a little bit of my story. Thank you for calling me a professional because it was just about 7 months ago when I jumped into live streaming myself. It was actually Loria's live stream and the one that she broke down the 4 levels of live streaming. And she said, the first one is with your phone. Just go live on your phone, which is what a lot of the people done today. So congratulations to everyone who jumped on the stream.
Yes.
Second level was like using a webcam or a software-based program, something like a StreamYard. Then the next one was adding a more professional type camera. And I was already a photographer. So I was like, if I want to jump in, I'm kind of already like at level 3, 3.5 in the Luria scale. And that really gave me all the motivation that I needed. I jumped on pretty much like the next day. Couple days after that, I linked up with Doc Rock. And when
awesome.
they were doing like Vlogmas, I did like Streammas. And instead of doing vlogs, I just went live every day during that Christmas holiday season. And like somebody mentioned earlier, so addicting. It's so addicting. And now I've been live streaming every Saturday consecutively for 34 weeks. And I don't see it like stopping anytime soon.
Great job. That's amazing. And you know what? Like you're saying that you wanted to come on here and say thank you to both of us, but you're the one who took action, right? Like I say that same thing how many times, all the time, to so many people. And you are one of the few who actually took action and leaned in and jumped in to do the work. So the props goes to you, not us.
Oh, well, thank you guys. It's just so much fun because I see live streaming, for anyone who's wondering, as actually doing exactly that, communicating with your audience. And when I started live streaming, I didn't even have 100 subscribers. And right now I'm about to peak at 700 in like 6 months from that time.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
and so many things, so many connections. The fact, that D. Niman and Luria Petrucci know my name, and actually that's like mind-blowing to me. You understand? And that's where I'm still humbled and excited about the possibilities of what my channel is going to be in the next 6 months. Where am I going to be come December this year, giving it like that full year circle? And, I've just been around in the places where I enjoy to be the most, these live stream, and just to give another little key point, what hooked me to D's live stream was D himself. Now, I was coming
be that I didn't wear pants. Right, go on, continue.
And the funk. That's for you, bro.
Great. Copyright claim. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No, that one's good. That one's good. You'll be fine. So the funny thing was that it was a live stream that I was in his brother's with, which is Nick Nimmin, and then I was made aware of D Nimmin. So I was like, oh, subscribe. Let me check him out. He did a live stream the next Sunday, and he gets the question all the time if he knows who Nick is. And that one just popped right up, and he looked right at the camera and was like, never heard of him. And just kept on with the live streaming. Right there, I was like, yo, this dude is super cool. I'm down. Like, I'm part of the Nimminati officially, and I've just been enjoying the ride ever since.
That's
great.
so cool. What a great story.
That's funny.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah,
and
man.
it's that. It was D just showing himself. You understand? He was like able to just be himself, crack a joke, move on. And I was like, that is so cool. And that's what I love about live streaming as well. I had mentioned in the chat earlier that my biggest faux pas in live streaming was that I had a microphone issue. And I was literally on a live stream for 45 to 50 minutes trying to figure out my microphone. And it was the most engaged video that I have because everybody was just commenting in the chat, okay, try this out. Can you figure this out and everything? And it was just so much fun that I ended up live streaming for like another hour and a half after I fixed the microphone because it was just so much fun. And like I said, it's so addicting. I don't see myself doing anything else but live streaming for the rest of my life.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's powerful.
Every Saturday this is part of like my thing. I don't go out, I go in on the camera junkie crew.
Yeah, that's killer. I love to hear that. And you hit the nail on the head, right? Is that it's just about being who you are. And when you have issues, like people try so hard to be professional. Obviously, as the light goes away, I have no lights on right now at all. So like this is getting even worse and worse and worse of a camera. But like people try so hard to be professional that it kills their personality. And those two things they have to live separately. They have to live in parallel and never cross perpendicular, like, because professionalism is a visual thing, like you coming in, D coming in, not me today, but looking amazing. That's professionalism, but people think it's their personality. So when you have tech issues, it's like, okay, I'm human. Like, come on, let's fix it together.
Yeah, and how you handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're about to get spooky with Luria.
You still look fine.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think anybody is questioning the quality of your camera. Like, it's what you're saying and your personality is coming through, and you're sharing information, you're helping people. Like that supersedes anything. Like the camera quality is taking a back seat to that.
True. And
You know what I mean?
like I'm the one saying it, nobody's commented on it at all.
We are our worst critics.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, like I want to hear what you have to say. I mean, it's great to look at you and your new hair color change, but I want to hear what you have to say. Right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I've got a link to Luria's channel right up here.
You're so sweet for
the
putting
chat.
that up. Thank you.
It's Live Streaming Pros. When the video's over, I will put her link in the description of the video as well. All right, promotion's over. There it goes. It's gone.
That's all the airtime she paid for.
Yeah, that's all you get. No. Come back with a better camera next time. No.
Right. Longer promotion.
Oh, there you go.
Luis,
but I just do want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity because I've been a member of the Nimminati and part of the community, and as well as Live Streaming Pros. And I'm just thankful and grateful because I found the community, and I'm slowly building a community myself with, my camera junkies that I wouldn't have even thought about been 6 months ago, when I was just starting all this stuff out. And now I'm working my way to People of Video Conference in Albany come September. And that's like my next goal, because there's a lot of people, including Luria here, that I can't wait to actually meet in person to
yeah.
solidify the relationships that have been built, online for the past 7 months. So I'm just so excited, and there's so many people there that I can't wait to meet.
Ah, love it.
That's awesome.
Can't
That's
wait to meet
awesome.
you in person too.
And by the way, he's a fantastic Clubhouse host. If you haven't been in any of his Clubhouse rooms,
Yeah.
he is a fantastic Clubhouse host.
Thank you.
He's super chill. He's got sound effects, the whole thing. So yeah.
I got to get back on Clubhouse. It's been forever.
Yeah,
There
me
you go.
too. I've been taking a back seat to Clubhouse as well. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it, but I can't say that I love it more than YouTube. And that's why, because this is my preferred platform, I want to dedicate my time and spend the most time here. So,
Makes sense.
I always
Okay.
say that
Matters.
whichever
Yeah.
platform is your favorite should be the one that you start at, because that way you're not going to get sick of it.
Yeah.
I love it. Luis, man, thanks for coming on with us. Thanks for sharing your experience.
Thank you for the
You
time.
look great, man. I love the little backlight you got going. The little
Oh,
crispy.
check this out, because I did this one for you, but
What do we got?
this is my usual color
That's what I'm
Nice.
scheme.
talking about.
Yes.
That's what's up.
I have it all set up so that I can just change things on the fly. And even when I'm at night, I can just tell Siri to shut everything off and all my lights go out. It's so much fun.
I love it.
Love it.
Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys. Have a great
Thanks,
night.
Luis.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Gloria, I want to thank you for hanging out. We've been on for 2
Thank you.
hours. I want to
2
thank you
hours?
so much. Thank
Whoa.
you so much. The light has gone down where you are, and you just hung out there. Your earpods are probably dead, but you kept on trucking. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Sorry, I kind of if I took over, but yeah,
No,
it's
that-
been. I love seeing people go live for the first time, and I love people's stories, and I love to see faces to the names that we see in chat all the time. So thank you for letting me hang out on this Sunday afternoon or evening, whatever time it is.
Yes. You're welcome anytime. This was just something I wanted to try because so many people were
It's a
just,
good idea.
and I keep sending people over to you. I keep
Aw.
sending people over to you. Gotta check out Gloria. And then I was, last month I was doing a normal Q&A, and somebody was talking about how do I get over the fear of live streaming, and I just dropped a link in the chat. I was like, you come on right now. And she did.
Yes.
She came on and she was amazing. She had the most amazing person. There's just bubbly personalities. And I was like, what are you doing not streaming? But then that kind of planted the seed. I was like, you know what?
It's a great
I'll do these from
idea.
time to time. So
The thing is people, okay, like people just, they don't see themselves for who they are. And
yeah.
My mission in life is to be that mirror for people, to help people to understand how amazing they truly are, because so many people are just hiding themselves away and so self-critical. And when I see them, I see this amazing, vibrant personality, just like you're describing with that person. And it's just, we're doing a disservice if we don't do things like this to encourage people to show up and get over those fears and be their magical, awesome self and find and uncover those hidden gems. It's like, wow, there's so much talent and so much awesomeness in this world that is just being hidden away. So thank you for doing this. This is fantastic.
It is. And you nailed it. Like, so many people are getting started. I'm afraid to get in front of the camera, and they get in front of the camera, or you get to talk to them. Like Nikki was in here, a little crafty nook, and she was telling her story about why she did her channel. And it was just like, that just changed my entire viewpoint of what she's doing on her channel in literally like 3 minutes. And like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the sort of thing where it's just like, and she's going to be amazing live.
Yeah.
Everybody who came up here today,
yes.
they've got a lifetime of stories and a lifetime of experience. They just have to get over that initial fear of just going, because they see themselves differently. Like you said, you like to be a mirror for those people to see, like, we all look at you differently. The other gentleman was talking about meeting Elvis. Are you kidding me? I can sit down and talk to you for 24 hours straight about that.
Exactly.
Who gets to meet Elvis Presley? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
Right? Like
crazy.
Yeah, and I know it. I know sometimes it sounds cheesy to say things like that, to where it's like, your whole thing is like uniquely you. That's your whole thing, and I know it can sound kind of corny sometimes talking about, oh, you're so special and you've got all
Yeah.
these, but it's true. But those
It's
are the
true.
things. Those are exactly the things that draw people to you. If you're just a cookie cutter of everyone else, nobody's going to pay attention to you. But when you let those things out, when you let those stories out and you let people know you for who you are, warts and all, crazy stories and all, or maybe you don't have crazy stories. Maybe you have other things that you can bring out and you just like certain things or certain styles of music or weird hobbies. Like people love that stuff. You just have to give it time to let those people find you. You mentioned it. What's her name? Misunderstood, I believe is her name. Yeah, Misunderstood. You mentioned something to her saying that when the right audience finds her, right? She needs to stream and wait for that right audience to find her. That was key. And I didn't say it at the time. When the right audience finds you, and that can take some time, right? You got to keep going. You got to get back up on the horse and just do it over and over and over. But when the right audience finds you, that's when everything changes.
Exactly.
Everything changes on your channel, the trajectory of your channel, the momentum, everything changes when the right audience finds you. So,
and it starts with that one person or those two people that are showing up live, and you're connecting with them and you're appreciating those people. You can't appreciate 100 people. You can appreciate 2, and then you can grow from there, and that appreciation can grow and that whole community grows. It's just so freaking powerful. I love it.
And like I said before, that's why I started streaming on Twitch. Like I love going live to like 5 people. That's just like, that's the coolest thing ever.
I love that you love it. It's so cool.
Yeah. I love going live to like 5 people because I can have a conversation with all of them. And I don't have to worry about missing comments or upsetting someone because I didn't see what they said. Like I can have I can have a conversation with everybody that's in there. I love that.
Exactly.
All right. So thank you so much, Lori.
Thank
You are just amazing as usual. And I want to thank everyone in the chat. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for every single one of you who came up and shared your experience and asked your questions with us. Thanks for coming on and going live. Lori, I would love to do this again with you sometime if you're interested.
Let's do it. Let's plan it, and I'll actually turn on some lights. I would love to just do this on a regular basis. Yes, I'm all for it.
Okay. So guys, if you haven't yet, give this a thumbs up to just let us know that you enjoyed yourself or you enjoyed hanging out in the stream today. And I'll be back next Sunday. And see, Andrew right here says, let's do it again. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to put
Andrew,
Loria's
compliment too.
I'm going to put Loria's channel link in the description as soon as this live stream is over, and I can actually change it. Otherwise, her channel name is Live Streaming Pros. And Loria, for anyone who came in late, you want to tell everybody what your channel is about and tell them exactly why they need to come over and subscribe and follow you?
I help you create the professional live video on one hand, and also make it full of personality so that you can shine through the tech. And that combination effect is very, very powerful. And I am running a free challenge in August, all about pushing you to go live every single day, dealing with the fears and getting comfortable and confident on camera. So if you join us over there, you can join us live and have those conversations and dive deeper and see how we have fun. Like, live streaming should be fun. It shouldn't be full of pressure like everybody makes it. So learn while we do, and you can take it with, you know, what you learn from it with what you see. I don't know. That sounded better in my head.
That sounded great before it came out of my mouth, right? That's how live streaming usually works. And sometimes you wrap up the stream and you're like, what did I do?
You're like,
what did I? Yeah.
What? That sucked. That was a really bad one. Yeah.
So I've got your channel up on the screen right now, so you guys know exactly what to look for.
Thank you.
That's her right there. And, you know, the Facebook group she has is amazing as well. So definitely go get on board with what she has, especially if you're wanting to get into live streaming. Like Live Streaming Pros is no joke, just ground zero for everyone who wants to become a live streamer. I've learned so much from Loria. So that's where everybody needs to go.
Appreciate
Right now when the stream's over, go subscribe to her channel. Loria, thank you again.
I learned so much from you, Dee, as well.
Thank you again. Thanks again, everybody. I will see everybody next Sunday. And if you guys have any questions, I will be coming back to answer your comments on this live stream. So thank you so much. Loria, thank you. Everybody who's hanging out, thank you. And I will see you next Sunday. Have an awesome week, everybody.